If you look at the world's great religions, from the quiet monasteries of Tibet to the grand cathedrals of Europe and the sacred mosques of the Middle East, you'll see that we're often told their paths are fundamentally different. The rituals, the prayers, the prophets, the scriptures, they create this beautiful mosaic of faith that, on the surface, seems to highlight everything that separates us. But what if that's not the whole story? What if, hiding in plain sight within ancient texts and passed down for generations, there's a single, powerful practice that connects them all? This isn't some secret conspiracy. This is about one core habit that every major faith agrees is the key to a deeper, more meaningful life. A habit that promises not restriction, but liberation. Not weakness, but incredible strength. And in this video, we're going to uncover it, exploring the golden thread woven through every major spiritual tradition on earth. Let's start our journey with Christianity, a faith centered on grace and divine love. But woven deep into its sacred texts is a powerful call for personal discipline. The Apostle Paul, one of the most influential figures in Christianity, often described the spiritual life using the metaphor of an athlete in training. In a letter to the Corinthians, he wrote, "Everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. I strike a blow to my body and make it my slave, so that after I have preached to others, I myself will not be disqualified for the prize." This isn't a call to hurt yourself, but a call for profound self-mastery. The prize he's talking about isn't a temporary trophy, but a life aligned with a divine purpose. This idea echoes throughout Christian teachings. Fasting, for instance, isn't just about dieting. It's a spiritual exercise to place spiritual goals above physical wants, creating mental clarity and a deeper reliance on God. Prayer isn't just a wish list, but a disciplined practice of communion that shifts the mind away from worldly chaos and toward the divine. In Christian thought, self-discipline is the framework you build a life of faith on. It's a partnership with God's grace. He provides the power, but you have to choose to use it. It's the daily practice of choosing higher values over our lower impulses, and it's seen as the path to true freedom and becoming more Christ-like. The ultimate goal isn't just to follow rules, but to completely transform your character from the inside out. Now, from the hills of Judea, let's journey to the deserts of Arabia, to the heart of Islam. The very word Islam comes from a root word meaning both submission and peace, a profound voluntary act to align one's life with the divine. And at the core of this is a powerful emphasis on self-control and discipline of the self, known as the Nafs. The most visible example of this is the fast of Ramadan. For an entire month, millions of Muslims across the globe abstain from food, drink, and other physical desires from dawn until dusk. But as Islamic teachings make clear, this isn't really about hunger. The Quran states that fasting was prescribed so that you may learn self-restraint. It's an annual training camp for the soul, designed to build empathy for the poor, cultivate gratitude, and strengthen your resolve against temptation. This discipline goes far beyond Ramadan. The 5 daily prayers, or Sīla, require a Muslim to stop everything they're doing and turn their focus to God. This simple act breaks the hypnotic rhythm of daily life, creating a constant state of mindfulness. The Quran warns against being led astray by your own desires, suggesting that true guidance comes to those who can master their impulses. A famous saying of the Prophet Muhammad puts it perfectly: "The strong is not the one who overcomes the people by his strength, but the strong is the one who controls himself while in anger." In Islam, self-discipline is the master tool for purifying the soul, chipping away at the ego, and drawing closer to God. Our spiritual search now leads us to Judaism, one of the world's oldest monotheistic traditions. Here, self-discipline is ancient and deeply woven into the fabric of daily life. The most profound example is Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. It's considered the holiest day of the Jewish year, and is observed with a 25-hour fast from all food and drink. This intense act of self-denial is based on the biblical command to afflict your souls. The goal is to rise above physical needs and focus completely on repentance and making things right, both with other people and with God. The fast is an external act that helps trigger an internal journey, clearing the mind for deep thought and prayer. It's like a powerful annual reset button for the soul. But in Judaism, this discipline isn't just for one day. The Musar movement, a spiritual practice that started in 19th century Lithuania, is dedicated entirely to cultivating ethical and moral discipline. Musar focuses on intentionally improving one's character traits, or midot, like patience, humility, and gratitude. Practitioners actively work on these virtues through study, journaling, and mindfulness, believing that true holiness is achieved by transforming yourself from the inside. Whether it's through the intense community fast of Yom Kippur or the quiet personal work of Musar, Judaism teaches that disciplining your actions and character is essential for a meaningful life. Let's travel now to the banks of the Ganges and into the rich, diverse world of Hinduism. Here we find a concept known as tapas. The word comes from the Sanskrit root tap, which means to heat. Tapas is the spiritual heat, the inner fire that you generate through disciplined practice. It's the conscious effort of self-control used to purify the body and mind, burning away inner impurities and past karma. This isn't about punishing yourself, it's about generating spiritual energy. Ancient yogis and sages, known as tapasvins, would retreat into nature, practicing meditation, fasting, and other focused disciplines to build this inner heat. They believed this could lead to profound insights, but its ultimate goal was always self-realization and liberation, or moksha. In the Bhagavad Gita, one of Hinduism's most sacred texts, the idea is expanded. Tapas isn't just for extreme ascetics, it's also the discipline of the body, speech, and mind. This includes things everyone can do, like acts of worship, charity, honesty, and nonviolence. The text frames this self-discipline as a vital practice for anyone seeking spiritual progress and harmony. In Hinduism, tapas is the engine of transformation. It's the internal fire that forges an ordinary soul into a vessel capable of knowing the divine. Our final stop is Buddhism, a path founded on the principle of ending suffering. And at the very foundation of this path is Sīla, which translates to virtue, morality, or ethical conduct. Sīla isn't a list of rules from a divine being, but a voluntary training in self-discipline that a person takes on for their own freedom. It actually makes up the first part of the Noble Eightfold Path: right speech, right action, and right livelihood. For most Buddhists, this is practiced through the 5 precepts: agreeing to abstain from killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, and intoxicants. But these aren't seen as restrictive commands. Instead, they're viewed as training exercises to develop a mind that's free from regret, agitation, and causing harm. By disciplining your actions, the mind becomes calm and clear, which is the necessary foundation for the deeper practices of meditation, samadhi, and wisdom, panna. In Buddhist teachings, an undisciplined mind is the source of our suffering. It gets tossed around by greed, hatred, and confusion. Ethical discipline, or Sīla, is the act of gently but firmly taking the reins of your own mind and actions. It's about becoming intentional. Mistakes aren't seen as sins that need punishment, but as chances to learn and get better. The goal isn't to be a good person to impress someone else, but to create the internal conditions of peace and clarity needed to see reality as it is and achieve enlightenment. So we've journeyed through Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, and Buddhism. We've seen the Christian athlete training for an eternal prize, the Muslim fasting to master self-restraint, the Jew atoning through self-denial, the Hindu yogi building an inner fire, and the Buddhist training in ethical conduct. Though the names are different, self-control, Nafs, Tapas, Sīla, the core practice is identical. The one habit that connects all major religions is self-discipline. This is the great revelation, hiding in plain sight. Every major spiritual path, in its own unique language and through its own rituals, arrived at the exact same conclusion. The road to a higher existence, to freedom, to God, to liberation, runs directly through the practice of self-mastery. But here is the beautiful paradox that all these traditions figured out. This discipline isn't about restriction. It is the master key to freedom. It's not about caging yourself, but about freeing yourself from the cages of impulse, craving, and unconscious habits. It's the profound understanding that by saying no to the fleeting wants of your lower self, you are screaming yes to the incredible potential of your higher self. It's the practice of transforming yourself from a boat tossed on the waves of desire into a ship with a rudder, a captain, and a clear destination. It is the spiritual muscle that, when you exercise it, gives you the strength to live a life that truly matters. The wisdom of the ages is crystal clear. The journey of transformation begins with a single, conscious choice to guide our own actions. You don't need a monastery or a special retreat. It starts right here, right now. So the final question isn't for the prophets and sages of the past. It's for you. What is one area in your life where a small act of self-discipline could lead to a profound transformation? Share your thoughts in the comments below.